So in this video, we're going to talk about algebraic expression. So what is algebraic expression? In language of algebra, when we say algebraic expression, it is a collection of numbers, variables, and grouping symbols that are related by the fundamental operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So examples of algebraic expressions are 3x, 4x squared, 5x minus 6, 2 times x minus 5, 4 minus 3 all over, 4 minus 3x all over 6. So those are some examples of algebraic expressions. And it uses a letter to represent an unknown number. So these examples are algebraic expressions in terms of x. So in algebraic expression, the parts that are added or subtracted are called terms. So ano ba yung terms na tinatawag or terms of the expression? A term, when we say term or terms, is a number, a variable, or a product or quotient of numbers and variables. So like for example, the expression 3x minus 2y plus 6 has three terms. The first term is the 3x, the second term is the negative 2y, and the third term is the positive 6 or the 6. Next, the expression 3x plus 4xy plus 8 times y minus x also has three terms. First is the 3x, the positive 4xy, and the 8 times y minus x. So the plus and minus sign or minus signs that break the expression into terms belong to the terms. However, when listing the terms of an expression, it is not necessary to list the sign or the positive sign at the beginning of the term. So it means na pag nagsulat tayo ng term of an expression, dapat isali natin itong positive and minus, especially itong negative. It is not necessary o kahit na wala na itong plus as long as because that is considered na yan ay positive. Etong minus, kailangan talaga yan siya isali para ma-identify natin na yung term na ginamit natin or yung term na tinutukoy natin is a negative. Okay. Example of terms. Like for example, we have an expression 3x squared plus 3y plus 5. Halimbawa, yan yung ating expressions. Ano dyan yung terms? What are those terms? Ano yung terms niya dyan? Okay, first is the 3x squared. 3x squared, isang term na yan. Next, the 3y and the positive 5 or 5. So kung bibilangin natin, may ilang terms sa expression na ito. We have 1, 2, and 3 terms. Next, another example. (2y minus 4x minus 1/2). Here on our given expressions, we need to identify or determine those terms. Okay, first is the 2y. Isang term na yan. Next, negative 4x. Do not forget to write the negative sign. And the third term is, or the last term is negative 1/2. So we have, again, 3 terms. Next, another example. 4 times x minus 2 squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay. So, pipilangin natin or we need to identify the number of terms or the different terms. First, kung napapansin ninyo, one term lang yan siya. Si 4 times the squared of x minus 2. That is a one term. Next, 2x, another term. And the negative 3 is another term. So, kung bibilangin natin, 1 plus 1 plus 1, we have 3 terms. Next, another example. X minus 3 all over 3 minus 3x. So, based on our given example, ilan kaya ito or may ilang terms or ano yung mga terms ng expression na ito? This is one term, considered as one term. You cannot separate that. Next, another term. Okay, so we have 2 terms. Only 2 terms. Okay? So, the numerical part of a term is called numerical coefficient. So, meron tayong, sa bawat term na yan, meron tayong tinatawag na numerical coefficient. O, ano yung tinatawag natin na numerical coefficient or simply known as coefficient? So, the numerical part of the term is called the numerical coefficient. Like for example, in 4x, saan dyan ang numerical coefficient? Pag sinabi natin numerical coefficient, it refers to a number. So, 4, the 4 is our numerical coefficient. How about this x? Ano ang tawag sa x na yan? So, that x is a variable part which is known as the literal coefficient. Okay, so the literal coefficient, which means it refers to the variable or the letters. So in the term 4x here, so the 4 is the numerical coefficient and x is the literal coefficient. Next, if we have a terms 4y negative 2/3 x, then 2 times x minus 3, then x plus 6 over 3. We need or we are going to identify the numerical coefficient. So, ano yung numerical coefficient niya? Dito sa first term natin, meron tayong 4y. So, the numerical coefficient is 4. How about here? The numerical coefficient is negative 2/3. How about here? The numerical coefficient is 2. And how about here? The numerical coefficient is what? 1/3. So, bakit siya naging 1/3? Because x plus 6 over 3 is pwede natin siyang gawin or it means that 1/3 times x plus 6. So, kaya yan yung kanyang numerical coefficient which is 1/3. If an expression has a term that is a number without variable, so the number is referred to as the constant term. Meron naman tayong tinatawag na constant term. So, ano itong constant term? Ibig sabihin, pag sa expression, may nakita ka na number lang na walang variable or walang katabi na letter, that is what we call the constant term or the constant. A symbol, when we say constant, it is a symbol that does not change in value. Like for example, in expression 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. So based here on our expression, the constant term there is positive 5. So that is our constant term. Next, meron naman tayong, or sa algebraic expression, meron naman tayong mga tinatawag na like terms and unlike terms. So, ano naman itong like terms? When we say like terms, are the terms with the same variable and have the same exponent. So, pag like terms, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga terms na may magkaparehas na variable at ang variable niya ay may kaparehas na exponent or magkaparehas ang exponent. Like for example ng like terms, 4x and negative 3x. As what you can see, the numerical coefficient is different, but the variable is the same. And the exponent of the variable is 1. Parehas sila na may exponent na 1. Therefore, they are like terms. Next, 3y and 5y. So, 3y and 5y is also example of like terms. Bakit? Kasi ang variable niya is y. Parehas na y na may parehas na exponent na 1. Next, 4x cubed and 5x cubed. As what you can see, based on the given term, they are like term because the variable is the same literal coefficient with the same exponent. So, magkaparehas na letter x na may raised to the power of 3 or cube. Therefore, they are like terms. So, ano naman ang unlike terms? Unlike terms, maaring magkaiba ang variable, maaring magkaparehas ang variable pero magkaiba ang exponent. Like for example, 6x squared and 7x cubed. As what you can see, the variable is the same. They are both x, but look at the exponent. They are different. Therefore, they are unlike terms. Next, 8xy and 5xz. As what you can see, the variable, they have two variables. First is the x, pareha sila may x, then x. But here, there's y, and here, there's a z. So, they are unlike terms. Next, last example. Si 4x and 2y, they are also unlike terms because magkaiba yung kanilang variable. So that's how to determine, or that's how to determine the algebraic expressions, then the variable, and the different terms in algebraic expressions. I hope that you've learned a lot, and do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel for more videos about mathematics.